However, I want to say thank you very much, Ishmael and Anna, for inviting me to speak about the films I saw. I think it's hats off to everyone who submitted a video. I was trawling through them endlessly, and you know, one thing I should say is that I love love. I absolutely do. I am an old romantic, or a young romantic I should say, at heart, and it was wonderful to see so many videos. So when Anna and Ishmael said to me, oh, you've got to send through 3, I was like, oh good gosh, how can I do that? There's so many there. So I sent through a number of them, and then I had to whittle them down again. But I was asked to talk about the representation of people in film, TV and so forth. I think for me there's a slight difference, because when we're talking about wanting to see LGBT, and as a black lesbian woman who's very proud of who she is, where she's coming from, I believe there's an even bigger issue for me, because I'm tackling multi-identities in terms of not just being black, not just being a lesbian, not just being female, not having a hidden disability, all of those things there. So you naturally want to see things on TV, in film, that represent who you are as a person. I want to hear people's experiences that I could relate to, in terms of my whole coming out journey, of where I had to conform to what society perceived was right, and making sure that I could get married and have children, but oppress that side of me who always knew that I was a lover of women. And seeing that on the TV, in the films, you're like, yes, I'm not the only one. Sometimes I still feel like I'm the only black lesbian out there. So meeting other black lesbian women is just such a joy. Not for other purposes, but it's just such a joy. So I know I've only got a few minutes, so my video number 1, and I see that it's in the order, a different order, is about a woman talking about Veronica. Now, why that got to me? Do you want me to talk about them and then bring it back in? Yeah, it's about a woman called Veronica, and the reason it stuck out was because there's no name.
Yeah. Who was your first love?
My first love was a girl called Veronica, and she was Italian. I was in primary school in Italy at the time, and we were in the same class. I was about 10 years old, and yeah, I started to really like her.
And how did you feel about her?
Well, basically, I used to spend a lot of time thinking about her, and I would come home and write diary entries about her, and whenever her name would come up, I'd get like my best pen and write her name in pink, and I remember thinking that out of everyone around me, all my friends and all the boys and girls I had around me that I used to play with, that she was the one that I really liked. You know, even though we were not, we didn't really spend a lot of time together. We weren't close or anything, but I just really liked her.
What did she look like?
She had beautiful, dark, flowy hair and olive skin, and was just really pretty. And I remember asking my friend who he thought the prettiest girl in the class was, and he said someone else, and I remember feeling really upset and not understanding why he couldn't see that Veronica was, there was no debate about it, that she was definitely the nicest one.
And how did things change afterwards?
Well, pretty much afterwards, like throughout secondary school and at university, and so on, I just had, shall we say, fell in love many different times with girls, and never really told them until I came to a point of realizing that I'm gay.
Again, that for me was one where it had no face, so I couldn't picture who she was behind that. But my brother is deaf and he signs, so his language comes from his hands. And seeing that when she was talking, her expressions was, wow, she felt love for Veronica. And my first love was also Marjorie Henry. I showed her my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday knickers at school, and I didn't understand why everyone didn't think she was wonderful. So my second video, yeah.
My first love, his name is John, and I've had a lot of crushes before. Just I'm saying, you know, we all go through teenage crushes and we all go through childhood crushes. But my first love, his name was John, and I fell in love with him when I was around 24. You know, and he turned out to be my boyfriend. Just I'm saying, you know, and it was great because it was the first time that I felt really solid. You know, when you feel like you've got your foundation just sorted out, you know. And there was a lot of opposition to our love. You know, my family, who are Orthodox Muslims, they weren't particularly pleased that I was first, number one, coming out to them, just what I'm saying, and number two, saying that I had a partner, you know. But it was powerful love, it was intense, it was beautiful, you know. And the greatest thing about it all was that even though our relationship didn't last for more than maybe, I think, about 2 years, somewhere around there, something, you know, we still keep in touch, we're still best friends, is what I'm saying, you know. So there is a kind of, it's what happens after happily ever after, is what I'm saying, you know? And it was powerful.
Yeah. What was he like?
He was an artist, he's a novelist, he's an editor of a magazine, editor of a publishing house now, a screenwriter, that's what I'm saying. And because I'm involved in those particular industries myself, it just seemed like a match made in heaven, that's what I'm saying, you know. And it will always be the person, that's what I'm saying, that I always think, yeah, that was my first love. And I'm not even embarrassed to say that, I love it, that's what I'm saying, you know. It's just a way of honoring him, that's what I'm saying. He was my first love. I'm no longer in love with him, but he was my first love.
Before I introduce the next one, not to play that, again, the representation of what this young man was saying was about his family and coming out and religion playing a part. And in many of the minority communities, coming out is an issue. I'm not going to say that black communities, Asian communities are any more homophobic than the next, but there are those added pressures of, can you have faith and can you still identify as gay, lesbian, bisexual or transgender? So that for me, I loved his words, intense and powerful, and it flowed. So I'll introduce the next one, which is a video from my organisation, UK Black Pride.
Homovision.
I'm taking my freedom.
Why is it important to have a separate Black Pride to Lonely Pride?
There's no representation for us in the other prides. Nothing against the other prides, I go to the other prides too, but we also need to represent the black community, whether it's black, Asian, mixed race, whatever else, we need to represent it, and the other side is not representing us, so we obviously have to get together and represent ourselves within ourselves.
I think there's a lot of people in the black community that like to celebrate the fact that they're gay, but it's such a homophobic world that we live in with other black people. It can't be done in the open.
The opportunity to, you know, meet people all over the community and just feel, you know, that you're not alone and actually you're part of something much bigger.
The good thing about this place is it's still quite an inclusive thing, do you know what I mean? There's not only black people down there, there's white people, there's Asian people, there's everyone, do you know what I mean? It's quite an inclusive pride, really.
You're here and you can be seen, whereas Pride, Soho Pride is a sea of white people.
Well, honestly, even though I'm here, I think that the Black Pride should be integrated with the main Pride. I think I understand when people complain and say, well, you know, it's not catered to my particular taste or culture, but you know, that doesn't mean that we can't take over. Maybe not completely, but you know what I mean, just integrate. We don't have to be afraid.
It's obviously different because of the type of people that are here, but with this kind of vibe, we get more of a cultural vibe going on, and more of an expression within ourselves as a group. Sorry, I've had a few beers and so on.
I don't think it's so much important to have a separate Black Pride, but it's more of an opportunity to celebrate in the way that we can.
The great thing about this kind of atmosphere is that people are kind of more relaxed, you know what I mean? Less attitude that you might come across on the scene. People are more social and things like that, so it's great.
I think, for me personally, at Pride, it's quite tense and everyone's there posing, doing their thing. Whereas here, people are here to enjoy the music, the food.
Within the event,
like anyone's welcome. It's like a normal carnival. Anyone is welcome.
I think that's what needs to be emphasised so much. Is that
it's not,
fact that it's,
yeah, it might be called Black Pride, but it's not just for black people. If you look around, you can see every single colour. There's been Brazilian people here, Indian people here, white people here, Spanish people here. Everyone's welcome.
Everyone.
And what's the best part of today as well?
Gonna have to be the alcohol. No, I'm joking. No, it's just being with other like-minded people. You know what I mean? And having an opportunity to spread the love and the joy.
Hopefully we'll have a pride like Euro Pride and Soho Pride out in the open. No searches, just free and open for everyone to come enjoy it.
Black Pride's important, right? I've never been here before. I've heard a lot about it. And I've been going for a couple of years, and it's the first time I've been, and it's brilliant.
We always support it. It's my first time, and I'll come again.
Every year keeps getting better and better and better and better. So 5 years time, you never know.
Homovision.
I always feel very moved when I watch that, because when I created Black Pride along with my other co-founder, I was called things like a separatist. I was told, why am I trying to be exclusive? Whereas you heard from the people there, it's about representation, it's about feeling visible, being visible, it's about empowerment, confident, seeing people who are like yourself, feeling included in wider society. And for me, seeing that is, it is quite emotional, because a safe space has been created for people who have not necessarily been able to talk about their story and their journey. So with that, it's about representation. So thank you very much.